shoulder roll.
Right.
Hey, hey, all day long.
Right? Part of our
Yes,
wellness practice, dancing it
ooh,
in for
yes.
our 1 o'clock lunchtime check in. Hello,
Yes.
hello, hello. Are
How
you
are
ready
you?
for the update?
Oh, I think I'm okay, okay, wait, let me get my life together, hold on. Okay, tell me where we are.
Well, let me do this. Let me share real quick a screen of what we are talking about, which if
Yes,
you have been in touch with us at all the last week, you're not going to be surprised because you're going to
mm,
know what we're talking
yeah,
about.
yes,
Let me do it this way. Oh,
yes.
no, I
Oh, it's
want us
beautiful.
both beside us. Here we go. There we
Amazing.
go.
Whew.
So today you can get your 99-cent copy on
Yes.
Amazon as we launch our Amazon bestseller campaign for the Women Connected in Wisdom book that was
Mm,
born out of our podcast. Our goal and our aim is to be sitting at number 1 in several categories. And are you ready for
yes.
the update?
I am ready, what is it?
We are currently sitting at number 11 in one category,
Okay,
number 46 in another, and number
okay.
147 in another. So
I'll
we
take
have
it.
bumped up because our last live we were number 19.
Mm,
So, right? So
good.
we are climbing up. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who has bought your copy so far. I'm going to put it
Yes,
this way so you can see it. Whoop.
I love it.
And if you haven't bought your copy, we are going to put the link in the comments for you to be able to go and do it. It really does help us because, even though we have a publisher working with us, really it's up to the authors to get the word out. And Shannon and I had the honor and privilege of being the lead authors and the weavers of
Yes.
18 stories of wellness and based on the 8 dimensions of wellness. And we might have an author or two pop in here at lunchtime. We're not
Hmm,
sure, but we wanted to come on and check in with each other and just give
yeah,
gratitude to everybody I'm getting emails and text and Facebook comments about folks that have bought the book so far. And I just want to say thank you. We
yes.
really appreciate your support. We feel
Mm,
your support. I was just in, my group that I teach with Sheila on
mm,
Tuesday morning. Sheila is one of our authors, and
yes.
anybody that's listened to the podcast, she's been our guest a couple of times and is my
Mhm.
co-author of my first book, Still Point. And we taught our regular Tuesday morning interplay class, and they were so excited. And several of
Yeah.
them had already bought the book before we even mentioned it. And
Of
it's
course, yeah.
just, it's about we really do our best to practice what we talk about, to make our
Mhm,
connections, to live in
mhm.
integrity and authenticity. And I'm just grateful, right?
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you, my friend. I mean,
Goodness.
this is a big dream we've been dreaming together.
What? Like, no, really, for a while, like, notepads and notes that may never be found, like, putting everything together and talking about how we want it to be, talking about the conference that's coming up and, possibly some in-person retreats and different things that we're planning and playing with, I love, playing with the possibilities, and like you ladies talk about the joy of watching it come to fruition is beautiful. But again, we know that women do that, right? So one of my favorite parts has been our Manifestation Mondays group. We talk about where you and I met, got there together again by a woman that's a connector. Shout out to Dr. Joe Veazey, right? Invited me at church. She said, "You should come to Manifestation Monday." I said, "It's early. It's at 8 o'clock on a Monday. I'll think about it." What were we gonna say?
I'm just laughing at that because you were always one of the first people there.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that you gave any pushback about it being that early. There were other people in the group that
Yeah.
were way more vocal about it, but you're all like, "We're on it. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Give me some
Yeah.
caffeine and let's go."
Right, and intentional about it because if I'm gonna do it, then I want to do it well. Just we talk about maintaining our wellness. If I'm gonna be here, I want to be here in a certain spirit with a certain attitude and heart posture because I don't want to block what I'm looking to get by being here, So I
Right.
think that a lot of times, and that's why we talk about sharing our stories. That's how I operate. You're not always going to hear how difficult it might be or all the reasons I said I don't want to do this. If I'm committed, I try to put my words that I say out of my mouth and my energy towards it being positive and working for me. So I appreciate that.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. One of my favorite things too, and there's, I think I need to make a list of like my favorite things of this experience. Um, but the 8 dimensions of wellness, the fact that everybody is so equipped by it, I think is the best way that I can say it. We talked about it earlier on the live, how one of our 5-star raters said that one of our readers said it was like filling in the gaps, and that's exactly how I felt about it when I learned about it. Other people have called it like a wheel of wellness. I love that because when you look it up and you see the pictures, there is like this color wheel and they usually put it in a
Hmm.
circle, which is why we wanted to make sure our logo was circle and things we do are like that.
Hmm.
But I'm saying that to say the 8 dimensions of wellness for me was a business project that I was looking forward to going a certain place and it didn't go that place. I was supposed to be doing social media for this wellness center and they were supposed to open and we were going to redesign it. I'm working with the African architect and uh, interior designer. She's amazing. And it didn't happen the way that I thought it would,
Hmm.
And just like we were just talking about, my attitude could have been a certain way about it. But I got a laptop, which started our podcast and all of our stuff out of it. It's long gone now. Um, and the 8 dimensions of wellness. And when you invited me to come do the podcast, you said, what should it be about? And I said, let's have it be kind of like about everything in the 8 dimensions. So I'm glad that it's been useful.
Right. And we want to give a shout out to, to the original researcher and woman who started this, right? It was born out of a
Yes.
university. Dr. Peggy, help me with her last name, Shannon.
Sh- Is it Shorebreck?
Yes, I
Yes.
want to say it exactly the right way, and we give her credit in the book, and we really talk
Oh,
about,
good.
we stand on her shoulders, and
Yes.
it was born out of the addiction and recovery movement. Actually, when they really talked about the 8 dimensions of wellness,
Mm.
and I, and my understanding, and where we've taken it is, often in our culture, we just think of usually one dimension. A lot of times when we think
Mhm.
about wellness, we often think about physical wellness. And there's 7 other dimensions to ourselves that if we're really, and a lot of them overlap. When we talk
Mhm.
on the podcast, when we talk, have different guests, a lot of them, they're speaking to one dimension, but it overlaps with multiple dimensions. And
Yeah.
so but, or a yes, and I think I'd rather
Mhm.
say
Mhm.
is if we're only focused on 1 or 2 dimensions, then we can get really out of whack or out of balance with the others. And that
Yeah.
can create problems if we're not paying attention.
Absolutely. And because we're talking about it too, Peggy Swarbrick, Swarbrick, Swarbrick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I love that, again, Women Connected in Wisdom, we're taking her research and everything that she did and continuing forward with the context of today, and that's
Right.
important. I actually like that it's out of addiction and things
And
that
recovery. Yeah.
program in the recovery. Yes, thank you. The program, because I think that um, that's what it is. When I refer back to my degree, right, in psychology, one of the things that hit me so much and was really profound to me when I was doing my undergraduate study was conditioning. And what that is, for those of us who are not used to the term, it's how you're used to things going, right? One of my
Hmm.
professors showed us that you don't know it, but every time you step out of the bed, you step out with the same foot. I said, wow. So people do things the same way and we make habits, whether we do it on purpose or
Right.
not. And so I think that we're used to living a certain way, right? And if we want to be well, if we want to heal from the situations that are not always our fault that we're in, or maybe sometimes they are, but if we want to get better, we have to intentionally think about how we do things in a routine. And the 8 dimensions really helped me nail that down, to think about it so that my occupational wellness isn't really good and then my social wellness is just off.
Right. Or rise.
Mhm.
Right. Right. A
Or
lot of
whatever
it.
way.
Yeah, talking about that stepping out of the bed with the same foot, we have body
Yeah.
grooves, or we call them
Yeah.
body grooves or body deals in
Mm.
interplay, right? And
Or
we
body what?
purposely body deals, like when your
Mm.
body's not working a certain way, it's a body deal,
Mhm.
but we have body
Mm.
grooves that we consciously try to interrupt and change as part of our wellness and play with. Like when I'm doing an interplay warm up, I often say if you put one arm on top, change to the opposite arm,
Mhm.
because you think about when you go to give somebody a hug, or we usually do it exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that striving towards balance, or the
Yeah.
striving towards equilibrium in our lives.
And we talk about how we're looking for a better word because we want to get it as close to reality as possible. Um, and I hear you searching for it. It's like the effectiveness, and that's usually what I think about. How effective am I in this dimension right now? How healthy am I? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'm searching for another word, because this morning
Mm.
when I was prepping for the class that I was teaching, I ran across this ridiculously fun song from
Okay.
Sophie Wiley called Balance. And
Mm.
I want you to listen to it. I'm going to send you the link. It
Okay.
was so fun. And it was out of High School Musical. So, their music's always preppy and fun. But I
Yeah.
totally danced to this song today.
Okay.
And I loved it. And I think it may become part of my new theme song.
I
Just
hear you.
saying.
And that's what it's about, right? When I think about intellectual wellness, it's what's most effective. And like you said, okay, I know that naturally as a human, I am used to falling into rhythms, habits, and patterns, right? So what can I do to kind of break that, to even give my brain some relief from all of this work and organization and very tedious logical thinking? Let me just I actually changed the tabs to the left side of the screen instead of on top. So just do things a little bit differently to kind of keep yourself in that groove. I hear what you're saying. That helps me be more effective day to day and not take it personal. Let go of what you thought you were supposed to do. If this works better in this area for where you are, that makes the most sense.
Well, I think the other thing about it is yes to all you're saying. And one of the things
Hmm.
I loved about this book,
Yeah.
in collaborating with 17 other authors, or if we're counting both of us, 16 other authors,
Mm.
was that everybody's got a different perspective. There's a
Hmm.
different way they do things. They share their personal stories and their insights, but they share their resources, right?
Hmm.
And it's kind of like when we talk about body grooves, right? I think we get
Hmm.
into wellness grooves. And
Hmm.
I always like to have as many tools in my toolkit as I can, especially for
Yeah.
chaotic times, because sometimes I'll be doing something and it stops working, or your
Hmm.
body gets adjusted to it. It's kind of like with homeopathic medicine. Like they say,
Hmm.
you only take it for a certain number of days and then you pause to let your body reset. I think about that in the 8 dimensions of wellness. And
Hmm.
I love reading other people's stories and uplifting their stories, because it's like, oh, yeah, like I used to do that. Or,
Yeah.
oh, I've never heard of that before. I'm going to
Hmm.
try that and see what my body feels. And, having the inner authority, does it work for me or does it not? But
Hmm.
y'all, I'm curious to see how many out of these 18 work for y'all. Because
Mm.
there's some
That's a good
good stuff,
question.
right? There's
How
some
many
good
of the
stuff,
18?
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I like what you said too, changing it up. Sometimes it's like time for self-care day. It's like, what do I want to do? I want to do something different. Maybe I don't want to do that, but I know I still need to do something. What should I do? 18 tools is definitely a good amount of resources to switch it up. Even
Right.
like Cynthia's, I love her Dr. Phelps, her and her ally cards. That the whole stack of cards, it's a different card depending on what comes up that day. So
Right.
endless different
Well, and I
perspectives
don't
and ways that
know
you could think about it.
if I've told you this, but
Why?
she is putting those cards in our VIP
You did not tell
package
me that.
for the Women Connecting Wisdom conference at the end of October. So folks that
excited.
sign up for the VIP package, and they're going to get a special self-care box in the mail, and it is going to include the Inner Ally card. So
Yes.
I was delighted. And the other thing we haven't really talked about a lot yet is folks that buy the book today, the electronic version, and go over to our website, womenconnectedinwisdom.com, which let me put up that banner. Let's have a little banner so you can find us. So if you go, we don't want the conference banner. Let me switch that over. There we go. Let's do the womenconnectedinwisdom.com. If you head over and tell us that you bought the book, we are putting together some incredible resources from our authors, and they're going to be sharing some goodies with you, and it's an electronic gift package, and we want to share that with you as our gratitude and thanks for being a part of this today. All of a sudden, I felt like I was channeling the PBS 13.
What is it? Is it the banner under the bottom that popped
no,
up in the middle
of
it
was the words coming out of my mouth about gifts for donors. Like, y'all, you're already getting a book like at a ridiculous price because it's only going to be 99 cents for today and tomorrow, and then that price goes up. And the paperback is going to be available in the next day or two. We're just doing, our publisher wanted us to do this launch for the Amazon bestseller first, and then the paperback is going to be available for $16.99 on all major retailers that sell books. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I was chatting with Cynthia on Facebook. I saw her picture, and one thing too, like we talk about collaboration. I'm one of the lead authors, but you ladies, Courtney did the reel, and Cynthia reminded me of the picture. Sheila jumped on first to the live, and there's like reminders of what I need to do or something that I may have forgotten about. And that's been one of the best things about being connected to you ladies professionally, right? Cecile is about to vote today. You and her are like, we have a handful of people who keep us on our political calendar, but I appreciate you ladies, because I'm just trying to see if it's raining or not outside. And I forget to think about all the other systems of things.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's what we know to be true, right? Is that we don't have to do it by ourselves.
Right.
A lot of people have been taught that differently and taught about individualism and ruggedness and, that whole BS about we pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Well, somebody made the boots. Somebody made the chair you're sitting on that you're pulling the bootstraps up. Somebody made the roads. So let's do this together. Let's be connected. And if you need a resource, let's find you one, right?
Yeah.
Let's, who do you need to meet, or who do you need to know, or what are you looking to do and to fulfill your purpose in life? That's the other thing I really loved about these authors is they're on purpose. Like they're living their lives intentionally. They are on their purpose, and they are sharing their gifts with the world. And I'm delighted to even have a small part in lifting that up. And right.
Right.
It's good stuff.
When you say, is it 17 or 16, I pick 17 because 17 is actually my favorite number. So to have brought on like 17 other authors with me, like that's what I talk about when I say that I feel like God always makes my dreams way bigger.
Whoa, wait,
you got an update?
I got an update. I just updated. Hang on just a second. I'm taking a picture. Are you ready, my friend?
I think I'm ready. What does it say?
It says, well, let me just share the screen. What the heck? Here we go. Are you ready? Can you see it? Number 1 in spiritual growth.
We're number 1. We're number 1. Are we number 1?
Number 1 in spiritual healing. Number 5 currently in motivational self-help on the Kindle store. So we're going up in all these categories.
We're number 1. Wait a minute.
We're currently sitting in 2 number 1 spots and a number 5 spot in that one that was 147 this morning that I wanted to get us to number 1, which was the motivational self-help books. We're like, what?
We're number 1.
Woohoo! Okay. So it just flipped over. So we don't have the little banner yet. That'll be coming. Okay. So we want to be, we are. Look, it says number one bestseller.
Bestseller. Okay.
Right there.
breaking news, okay? Women Connected in Wisdom is officially Amazon bestseller, baby. Ooh, can't even keep the voice straight. I'm so excited.
Right? I love that happy dance, my friend.
Hey, and I usually wouldn't wear the strapless bra, but whatever you guys saw is worth it, okay? I'm so excited.
I didn't even see. I just saw you
Yes.
dancing over there.
Hey.
Oh,
Woo,
I was
so
hoping it would
exciting.
happen during one of our lives. I was hoping, and it's still, y'all. It still helps us and supports if you get your copy today, because we are, there's different categories that we can go in, and the one I was looking at, which is the motivational self help book, I would love to hit number one. We're currently sitting at number 5. Let's do it, and let's have 3 number 1 categories all across the board. Wouldn't that be a blast?
Yes. Okay, so we gotta go up. We gotta take a second and go up and take a picture for our,
Right?
yes.
Yeah. Oh, with us on here too.
Yes,
Absolutely. I took a picture on my side screen, but I'm happy to take a picture
we
with you,
did.
my friend. Right? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh my goodness. So fun.
Beautiful. Whew.
So fun.
So, yes, together, that's been one of my favorite things. You were talking about earlier how you notice women connected, in a
Mhm,
in an interaction with somebody. And
mhm,
I've thought about that, but I'm even more intentional and um even receptive to it. How do you stay open and work through relationships with women so that this person, as somebody who might be conditioned to operate a certain way, right? How do you support her and give her what she needs in whatever position you guys work together, and then be able to collaborate together and do that from a healthy place. Let's see.
right?
Oh, right there, by
Uh,
the power of now.
right? Currently
Who is this? Is this Nicholas? I don't want to say the wrong name. That's not,
what
what's
which
his
one are you
name
looking at?
again, this author?
Eckhart Tolle?
No, so that's
Number
the
one.
author of The Power of Now. Who is this
Yeah.
actor? He's been in so much stuff.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. Is it McConaughey or McConaughey?
I think it's McConaughey.
McConaughey.
McConaughey?
I think it's crazy seeing our stuff by other people's stuff. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like when we saw the podcast on Spotify and it was by Sarah Jakes. That's why I was thinking about her earlier. Like it's crazy that we're all like evolving and leveling up and bringing out the projects and everything we've been working on.
Right?
Yes. Yes. So again, ladies, this today we are just talking about the book. We're talking about the book, our authors, Women Connected in Wisdom, and we have the conference coming up for you. Every week we go live at 5 and we spend about an hour going into a specific dimension because we know that it takes a while to really get through the story and the resource, why it's important, but we need more than that. An hour is not enough, even the hour long different sections that we're going to have for the virtual conference is not enough. So get plugged in, stay tuned what we have going on because whatever section you need support in or even want to be a resource in, we have it for you so that we can do it together.
Yeah, I'm pulling up this one so you can see it
What
too.
is this one?
This
Who
one
is
is
spiritual healing?
this yeah, right. And number 3 today is the Dalai Lama. So like you're right about like it's
Lord.
wild to see.
Now, when I tell you, and we talk about being smart and nerdy and all this stuff, when I graduated with honors, how? Nothing but God. I have to make sure I give the credit. I want that to go down in history, that it's not about me. And when you really come from a healed place, you can be there for your family in a better capacity. The things that we really want out of life, you can have that, and that does help with your spiritual healing, because I feel like a lot of times it comes from the my life is like this, so I feel like I'm not aligned or I'm not worth it. And then we get to the suicidal part of it, right? And the worthlessness part of it. And part of it that leads to women overextending themselves and pouring into everybody else. But you are worth it. You are worth being taken care of. And that's because we were all made for a purpose. And Christine, I love what you said about all of us being purpose driven is so true. And we were intentional about that. And that's something that we've
Mhm.
talked about, that we've dreamed about, and that I prayed for. I said, God, I don't want to work with people who I'm not aligned with. And we're working with a lot of people, and they're amazing. So I'm super excited about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I think also, when we started the podcast, which was we originally were going to start on January the 6th,
Mm.
2021, which that's a day that's going down in history and infamy. And we were like, nope, not starting today. So we started on was it the 13th? Is that right? I think it was the 13th
It
of
was 7
January.
days after, what is that? Yeah. Yep,
Right?
7 plus 6 is
And
13.
so we are coming up on I mean, we're well over a year and a half.
Yeah.
Episode 86.
86. Yeah.
And we
Tomorrow.
started, part of our purpose was to uplift women's voices and stories who have been traditionally oppressed.
Mhm.
And we started that with the podcast to give women, especially, a voice, or people who identify as women, a voice, and to tell us about their awesomeness and what they're doing in the world and how they do it and how they stay well. And we had people asking us, because I wrote the book Still Point with Dr. Sheila K. Collins, who's one of our first guests on the show, and
Yes.
talking to us about becoming authors, talking to us about taking their stories from an idea to something tangible, right?
Fruition. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's the project we've been birthing for the last 9 months, is how do we support other women? How do we do
Yeah.
this? We created Connected in Women Press.
Yes, we
We
did.
worked with a
Oh, wait.
publisher.
Connected in wisdom so that the men are
Connected in
included.
Wisdom. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
got you.
Yeah, I'm a little punchy, right? The energy's just
Amazon
flowing
bestseller.
through.
You know
It's
what I mean?
exciting, right? And let me share
Yes.
this goal here.
Mm.
Let me show you our goal screen, because
Mm.
we always talk about goal screens. How do we do
We
it? So
do.
this is the one I'm
Yeah.
looking at for motivational self-help. We're
Okay.
currently sitting at number 5, right?
Okay.
And we're creeping up. Oh, what if we passed The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown today? I might have to fall
Ooh.
over. I might have
And
to
all of
fall over.
and mind you, all these books that we've been watching for like the past few weeks, right? I want to put
Right?
on my list to read and listen to, and I'm like, ooh, I
Absolutely.
need to add this one.
Absolutely. I'm going to take this little picture, because right now we're at 5. If we sneak on up there past number 1, that would be pretty amazing. And I love Tuesdays with Maury. Like, that's a great book. So I love that. And I love Brene Brown's Gifts of Imperfection. So the fact that we're even sitting on the same page with them, me, just tickles my heart today.
Yeah.
So
And you talked about the podcast, you talked about uplifting the voices, and that's I don't know if you've gotten it. Have you gotten your surprise in the mail yet? Did you get yours?
no, I don't think so. Or I haven't
Oh,
checked the
yes.
mail. I'll have to go check. I'll have to
Yes.
go
So
check.
our author started talking about stuff, but I sent you a little something too for being so
Oh,
amazing. Yes.
yay. Oh, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Of course. But
I'll
you're
have it on the next
connected.
live
Yeah.
we'll see if the mail came, right?
Yeah, yeah. But your connectedness, we needed to make it bigger, bigger than the handful of people that were with us at the beginning. And
Yeah.
for the box, you guys, for this conference, really we wanted it to be in person, right? We're gonna be wise and make it so that people across the country and across the world can attend, because that's who we have in our audience right now. And so because we were missing you physically, we always joke about chocolate and tea or coffee in the green room with our
Ah!
guests, right? We wanted you guys to have something with you as we go through our wellness and introduce everything else that we have coming up. So I'm excited for the box.
Yeah, me too. I am. And I'm
Yeah.
excited for this digital gift box that we're going to
Hmm.
send to people this
Oh
week.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
And that's what it's about, really plugging you in. Like, yes, we all have resources. Yes, there are businesses. Yes, we make money from them, but it's really about plugging you into the resource. So before the book, we started plugging you into their websites. Now we're going to send you the freebies when you send us the email, right? That you bought the Kindle with today to help us get to our different categories that we're sitting at bestseller at for right now. And I'm excited for you to get the tools and start implementing them immediately. This is not to overwhelm you. It's not to add another 18 things for your to-do list tomorrow. But for the rest of the year, if there are some areas that you want to work on, we wanted you to have that.
Hang on, I have one more screen to show you because I
Another
just
one?
can't even.
Another
Right?
one.
Well,
What
there's
is
so
it?
many ways to look at it,
And we
right?
have 8
There's so
dimensions.
many
I want
choice.
I want 8 categories.
You want
I'm
it?
not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. It's
Yes.
just when you go to Amazon and you
Yes.
search Women Connected in Wisdom, this is what currently pops up.
Wait a minute.
This is we are the
Super
number one
excited.
result, and we have this sweet little
Ooh.
bestseller. There we
I
go.
gotta go to it. Made.
And we
And
couldn't have done it without y'all. Like
no.
we literally could not have done it with you. I mean, I guess we could have bought 1,000 books, but that's not
Yeah,
what we
but
believe in. We're
and
not.
that's not what
I
it's
do want
for.
to. I
Yeah.
also want to clarify that because there are some authors that do that. Like they go
Okay.
in and they put in a big order, and that's what puts them to the top.
Yeah,
And
no, we didn't do that.
yeah, we were grassroots. We called. Well, we're still working on calling,
Yeah, we're
talking.
still
We
doing
sent
that.
emails. We have been talking about it on the podcast, and we're wanting it to continue because what happens as we keep talking about it this week is just it then the algorithm does and more people get to see it and to see that it's listed. It'll start popping up if people are searching now. It'll say like new releases and things like that. So the longer we sit there, the better. So we're just going to keep it going. Y'all are going to hear from us today and tomorrow. And, we are just so excited.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so grateful for you, my friend. I could keep talking to you all day, and I got to go get some lunch.
Great idea.
So we will do another live check-in. When did we say we're doing another live check-in? We are doing another live check-in at 4. And then we're going to do one at 7. We're also going to pop over to Life Coach Co., one of our authors.
At 6.
At 6. I think we're popping over to Melissa Bird. She's in 30 minutes at 2 p.m. on Facebook. And 2:30 on Instagram. So, we're going to be popping all over the place, y'all, and just saying hi and giving gratitudes and being connected. So reach out to us. Let us know what you think. If you love the book, we'd appreciate a 5-star review on Amazon. You can do it just with the stars or you can give a little words. Shannon has been capturing the reviews that are coming in, and we'll be sharing those over the next, forever. So,
Yeah, basically.
I was going to say the next couple of days, but let's be real.
It's the beginning of Yes, I Talk a Lot. I have a podcast. I'm an author, and I'm not going to shut
up. And a speaker, my friends. And a conference host.
Yes,
right?
Internet. Yeah, you're right.
Right? All of it.
Thing. So grateful for you.
So so grateful for you, my friend. All right, I will see you.
Christine,
oh, go ahead.
I want to be the first to congratulate you on being an Amazon bestseller, baby.
Thank you. And let me be the first to congratulate you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
And
I received
thank you for everybody who's listening and supporting us along this journey. And go grab your copy. I think you're going to love it. Yes. And, it's our baby. So we are partial to our baby, but other people are telling us how cute, meaningful, and deep our baby is too.
Yes.
All right, my friend. It's not just us, but right? Grateful for you. And I'll see you live over on Dr. Melissa Bird's platform in a little bit.
Absolutely.